I recognize Rep Staffler.
Thank you, chairs. Thank you, Mr. Taisagui. You mentioned that you take a stack. Who sets the stacks?
Kagi galon boxes ya.
Who sets it in the boxes? Like, do they put it in a certain order or do they just put it random?
You just you recall magay ko gisok observation ko it's in order but random lord.
In my observation, I don't recall whether it's in
Yeah.
order.
Who puts it in the box that you take or the stack?
I really don't know who puts it in that, but process na, no, intake Bank of Saipan.
The process is that Bank of Saipan does the intake.
So danggin para beta TJ no na process.
If I was to follow that
Sinya
process,
by assume na kasi
can
Bank
assume
of Saipan pumega todo galon ni
that
box.
Bank of Saipan put all of them in a box.
And you said that you don't mark your rubric, right? You don't mark it.
Oh,
How do you remember all of the applications you review? Because not all of the applications you reviewed got boosted, right? Like some of them you didn't get consensus, or did you get consensus for every application that you've?
Gidok ko recollection
Based on my recollection,
todo it siya i-review. We
all
have a
those that I review,
consensus.
So everyone that
Reached
you
a
bring up to
consensus.
light
Mm,
is what you guys agree on.
yes.
You've never disagreed on one of your applicants.
Not to my recollection that of disagreeing.
So how do you remember what your scoring is for your rubric if you don't mark it?
Gidok ko recollection is not on a scoring system, but on the merits of we just
How do you
kinda
measure
discuss it.
that? How do you measure that? Like, how do you quantify it? Because when you're comparing something, you have to have one better than the other. But how do you quantify that? Put a number to it if you don't put numbers down at all.
Sa ting quantify na no?
because we don't quantify it.
I-packets no review.
The package that I review,
Kumuli na ani dito siya na elements.
if I see that it meets those elements,
O presenta za no in diskuti istigi no recommenda isti.
I present it and we discuss it and recommend it.
How do you come to a collective consensus? Like what is the process to come to a collective consensus?
Isto a collective consensus is basically on each and everyone input gikada pakete na no gito ko pakete sa goni siya na istigi na elements no atan isti malago na be recommenda.
In my package,
It
this
happens
is what
na
I
gikada
recommend.
no we just okay esta.
So every single
Okay.
one that you guys brought to the table got money. You
Got
never
awarded.
denied any award.
Not to my recollection.
How many applications did you review?
Utungan na make a review.
I know that I reviewed a lot,
Lo janggin pa be asu pogo kalan giges tan kilutungan na make a
but if
review.
I was to recall them, I would be guessing. But I know that I reviewed a lot.
How did you decide to give a second award for some of these businesses?
I guess estes ta mavedi estes tan review eno siya na sa gi
I guess it was already vetted. We've already
Ye-
reviewed that. The
guaha no communication na mamaisin i chief of staff pa ben fanali para
there
ben
is communication that the chief
diskutin
of staff asked us
no
to
i
meet
second round.
for the second round,
The gibase ki second round
and based on the second round,
no inata na di siya man manoi gi first round.
we
Then
looked
nigi
at
na
who
determina
was
na para fan manoi ni
given the
second round.
first round, and that would determine who would be getting the second round.
Mm.
How did you guys decide on the amounts to award for the first or second round?
to collective consensus.
So was there an actual process of like a scoring mechanism to say why certain businesses deserved 100,000 versus 5,000? Is there any way to show your process, or was it just pull the number out of a hat?
Well,
Because
There's none.
there's a process no
There's
available
no
para
process
para
available
by
for me.
no law. Inaatana no
So
we arrive at a consensus
No.
ko. Wala naman differences in money
arrived
no
at a consensus, and there are differences.
no recommendation lo, but at
And
the end of the day we gotta move this no applicant
you
to
said
advance
so
to the government.
yourself earlier when
Mm.
Rep Atta was asking that you knew that the money wasn't enough. So if you knew the money wasn't enough, why would you give a second round to the same businesses that already received money when you knew there were businesses who were waiting and they didn't get a second round, or they didn't even get a first round? Some of the second rounds were over $100,000.
I know
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One of them was 200,000. 8, 9, 10 people got over $100,000 in the second round.
it's a statement what to guess
My statement to
Congressman no
Congressman
Acto
Atto.
anay fineni na anay 10 million
When the first 10 million,
no pesa na ma extend din ay
then when they extended,
Izin naliliko na
That's why I
sinya
said-
kasi tuminaw.
Some of these
Law.
were
Not be
given
enough.
out in the second, like a week later, not even 2 weeks.
Lo
but
afat mention na iti
what I
mafaisin
didn't mention, what I wasn't asked,
ani pero ma extend finena na
what they were going to first extend it,
irason sa bulat timang complete ito niya packets.
the reason was
No?
that a lot of the packages were incomplete.
Ani para ma extend